Fight fam, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification. Class in session.
When trying to land his backhand, Briedis tends to lunge and overreach so far that he ends up in a forward shift. As a result, he ends up squared, off balance, and available for return fire from an excellent counterpuncher. In particular, Opetaia's backhand cross or counter lead hook. The most consistent punch that Opetaia had thrown and landed in the fight was his lead cross. It's fast, sharp, and typically disguised by his lead hand. However, it isn't a stretch to say that he relied on his lead cross too often and it started to become predictable. At the championship level, it isn't ideal to rely on the same attack if your opponent is starting to adjust and predict what's coming. As the fight progressed, Briedis started to anticipate the punch and landed some devastating counters that hurt Opetaia in the championship rounds. Probably the biggest issue Briedis had was throwing a lot of single mid-range jabs. The issue is that Briedis is stepping into range to land the single weakest punch in boxing and remains there. While he potentially lands a jab, his opponent is close enough to land any punch in his arsenal. Fighters are often willing to trade with a jab to land a hard power punch. A counterpuncher like Opetaia thrived off of mistakes like this and made Briedis pay many times with sharp counters in the first fight. Opetaia likes to utilize the high guard for more than just defense. As an elite counterpuncher, Opetaia uses the high guard to set up traps and bait out reactions. If Briedis takes the bait, Opetaia's counter could vary between a hook, uppercut, or fast combinations. If there is no reaction or punch thrown, Opetaia goes back to throwing his signature lead cross. The weakness of a high guard trap is the over-reliance on anticipation and timing as well as being susceptible to feints. So if Opetaia's timing is off, he can get caught. Briedis occasionally exposed this weakness and caught Opetaia off guard several times when he tried to set up traps. Some of the most successful work Briedis had was when he managed to get on the inside. With the use of guard manipulation such as frames, pins, head and body controls, Briedis would use his physicality to force Opetaia in uncomfortable positions. He had no qualms about controlling where his opponent's head and body were within the clinch. Opetaia's poor head placement and lack of urgency to hold in the clinch gave Briedis many openings to attack from. Opetaia used a single high shield in order to catch backhand crosses, hooks, and overhands. In the open stance, it's far safer to defend an opponent's backhand through controlling space, ducking, or slipping the punch. Trying to absorb the force of your opponent's backhand on the glove against your face comes with great risk. On top of that, there's a possibility of misreading the punch or trajectory of the punch thrown leading to devastating consequences. Opetaia's use of a single high shield in the open stance to fend off Briedis' backhand led to these very consequences and changed the momentum in the second half of the fight. This fight ended in a unanimous decision for Jai Opetaia, who suffered a broken jaw in the 11th round. However, before the championship rounds, Opetaia was dominating Briedis from mid to long range outside with the use of his elite lead hand, calculated footwork, and great counterpunching. If Opetaia can repeat the success he had for the first 7 rounds and limit inside exchanges, Opetaia can box to another comfortable decision. However, if Briedis manages to close distance more often and work on the inside, he can take advantage of Opetaia's lack of understanding in the pocket and break him down. Furthermore, if Briedis can exploit and counter Opetaia's repetitive use of the lead cross earlier in the fight, he can repeat the success he had in the championship rounds and potentially stop him. Let me know who you got in the comment section. Thanks for watching.